Hi, my name is Addie Graff, and I'm majoring in biology. I'm going into my sophomore year at FAU, and my future career goals are to go into healthcare someday. The piece of art that my group has chosen to focus on from the Cleveland Museum of Art is Head by Pablo Picasso. Created in 1926 in Spain, this piece was made with oil on canvas, and its dimensions are 21.6 by 14 centimeters. The painting portrays a woman's head in multiple perspectives. The thing that stood out most to me while observing this piece was its element of value, which is the lightness or darkness of an artwork surface. In this painting, the different perspectives are separated by darker and lighter shades of color, such as red, blue, and yellow. The darker shades allow emphasis on those perspectives because they pop out within the painting compared to the later shades. This piece relates to my future goals of pursuing healthcare because when looking at patients, you have to explore the many perspectives of their issue and problem in order to diagnose them and find a solution. This piece reminds me to connect many perspectives into one full picture in order to get a full synopsis of each person I meet.
Hi, I'm Esther Guntherberg. I will be a sophomore in the fall at FAU, majoring in elementary education. Um, our group chose Head by Pablo Picasso because all of the different components of it and elements could be applied to each of our lives in different ways that we could all relate to. I will be talking about form. In this painting, there are two different faces, a side profile seen in red, and a front-facing woman seen in a lighter shade of yellowish white. Um, the front-facing woman has a curved jawline and is many different shadings going on to appear that she is three-dimensional. Um, so in that the side profile is not as three-dimensional to create a form of a whole head like the front-facing woman is. I believe this to be applied to my life as though that second profile is a part of the like more prominent person, meaning like when I'm a teacher, I will have many different versions of myself to be applied to the students I'm helping and taking care of to know how to cater to their needs differently. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Goldberg. I go to Florida Atlantic University, and I am studying pre-physical therapy right now in hopes to reach my doctorate in physical therapy. For my part of the project, I'll be talking about shape in the piece of Pablo Picasso, Head. Picasso breaks down the human head into abstract and geometrical shapes, such as sharp angles, curved lines, and asymmetrical forms, rather than aiming for that realistical look. So he uses irregular shapes to convey emotion, personality, and movement. As someone studying pre-physical therapy, I think I could connect to this abstract because it mirrors how I'm learning at the human body. For example, in my anatomy class, like you could look at the whole brain, but there's certain parts of the brain, like you have the parietal lobe, different lobes of the brain. And in more of a physical therapy aspect, we break down movement into components such as like posture, muscle groups, and joint angles. Similarly, Picasso breaks down face into fragmented shapes that still somehow suggest identity and structure.
Hi, my name is Mia Gomez, and my major is biological science, and I come from the the SMIC College of Science. And today I'll be talking about texture and how it correlates to the artwork that we assigned ourselves, which was Head by Pablo Picasso. And for texture, you can see that the painting alone has many different fragments bunched into like the head of this woman, and you can see the hair is thinly lined, and that her eye is red, which could symbolize scarring or ragged edges, and just focusing on her as a whole. In the painting's use of texture was to invoke an expressive emotional quality that draws the viewer into the subject, which was the head of the woman. And I would say that a personal connection I can tie to this painting and how it's been formed with texture and all is that it kind of shows that you can be pushed in like multiple different like ways through life, which is how I felt growing up with a lot of things, like a single mom being pushed and having a lot of responsibilities and stuff as a young kid. So you're pushed between school, home life, and work, and a lot of things. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Derick Gutierrez. I'm a freshman at FAU majoring in business. Today I'll be talking about the use of space in this two-dimensional artwork by Pablo Picasso called Head TT, created around 1926. In traditional art, space is often created using linear atmosphere perspective to show depth, but Picasso rejects that. Instead, he uses planar space, only the height and width of the canvas, to flatten the image completely. There's no illusion of deep space here. The faces split, overlap, and rearrange using bold lines and blocks of color. Even though there's overlap with the hand-like shape blending into the face, it doesn't create realistic depth. Instead, it builds a sense of fractured, multi-viewpoint space, which is common in Cubanism. It's almost like we're seeing the front and side of the face at the same time. By using a flat background of blue and red and keeping everything pressed against the picture plane, Picasso forces us to focus on the surface. This approach challenges traditional thinking about space, making the flatness part of the message. This challenges how we usually see art and makes us see it from different perspectives due to its shape. I think the way the face is split and layered, I've had many moments in my life where I felt pulled in multiple directions, but everything is still part of me and leads back to me. I also relate it to my goals because I sometimes view my goals in different perspectives to see how I'm going to approach them.
Hi everyone, my name is Leah Grijalva and I'm going to be talking about exercise science at Florida Atlantic University. Today I want to talk to you about how Picasso uses line in a powerful way in one of his portraits. So when you look at this portrait by Picasso, the lines are what really jump out at you. He uses these bold, confident lines to shape the woman's face and hair. You'll notice how he outlines different parts of the face with thick black lines, and this gives the portrait a strong sense of structure and is really typical of his style. Now, as someone studying exercise science and working as a lifeguard, I feel a personal connection to this piece because of how it mirrors the way I've been trained to look at the human body. In my classes, I'm constantly analyzing how the body moves, looking at muscles, posture, and how everything works together. Picasso takes something as simple as a line and uses it to express something deeply human.